Welcome to another episode of We Ain't Them podcast, where we talk about any and everything within a statute of limitations because we ain't trying to get sued with our unrich asses. Yes, I said our unrich asses. I'm your host, Rassan.
This nigga.
Alongside me is a man that Donald Trump and JD Vance would have deported half of, but he lives in Bermuda. Kevin. Because you know the half of you is Haitian. You get the point.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. This Negro.
What's up, Kev?
Niggerism. Anyway, go ahead.
What's up, Kev? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. We're close to the weekend. Decided to make a big change this week. Cut off the locks. Went for the shortcut. Some people approved, some people didn't. But
so unprofessional. Wearing a do-rag during the podcast, and your elbows is ashy. Nah, no lie, my elbows be ashy during the episodes too. If anybody wants to know why I'm wearing a hoodie and my glasses, first of all, y'all know me for my glasses, so don't ask those stupid ass questions. And why I'm wearing a hoodie? Because I could do what the fuck I want to. It's my goddamn house. Yes, we are in the house. We're not in the studio.
Plus, on top of that, you're trying to show Neil the red pill and the blue pill, but continue.
Exactly. Chill. Be humble. Relax. Anyway, before we get started today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on all media platforms. Now, Kevin, I wanted to ask you something.
What's up?
All right. I'm going to give you a scenario, and you tell me what you think, right? If you worked at a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the company, like let's say you know the CEO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the CEO helps you to make a lot of money, right?
Right.
Do you feel like you have to be loyal to that person?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you need to be loyal to. Listen, I believe in loyalty, but just because you give me, you pay me a lot of money or whatever the case might be, I'm not going to be 100% loyalty, especially if it's something. If let's say it's a better opportunity out there, I'm going to look at it. I look at it, and But I don't believe in loyalty. Sometimes in business, it's not really a. It's not really it works sometimes, but sometimes it's a tricky situation.
Yeah, I want to ask that question. Okay, so now I want to top that question, right? Now again, let's say the same company helped you get financial freedom, right?
Right.
Like you was in a big rut and all that stuff, but they put you out of like big issues that you had before, right? If that CEO was, I don't know, you found out that he got charged for sexual assault or rape, and media was to ask you questions, how do you think you would handle those questions?
I probably would answer straightforward, to be honest. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, yes, I may be working for your company, but you did a lot of potentially allegedly nasty things. And I might comment on it, or I might just wait to see where if more facts come out. So you know what? First, I think I would wait. I would wait to see if more facts come out, then I'll probably respond. But honestly, at that point, I probably wouldn't respond right away. I don't just want to see everything out first.
I ain't mad at that, but like honestly, the reason I asked you is we're gonna go into other stuff, but this real 1 second is gonna go straight to wrestling fans because this is about wrestling and shit, right? So wrestlers, I could say it about a lot of people, but specifically wrestlers, right? Y'all niggas, especially people that came from WWE, y'all kind of showing y'all ass right now, and I'm gonna explain why y'all showing y'all ass, right? Y'all niggas decided that it was a great idea, a grand scheme to go ahead and do like if people ask you about a situation, you're always like, oh well, Vince McMahon was still a super genius. Yeah, the things that happened were unfortunate, but like he's still a super genius. No, the nigga is a dickhead. Like it like that's not how shit works, bro. Like at the end of the day, the nigga is a dickhead. Like if you want to say no comment, cool. Sometimes it's better to say no comment and not get involved. Um, some people like to say, "Oh, I want to hear all the facts." That doesn't help your situation either, because all the information that'll come out, it doesn't necessarily help your case. If I was in that position, I would just stay quiet. I wouldn't. I'll be like, I refuse to answer that question. We can talk about anything else, but I definitely don't want to get into that. And if somebody was to ask me why, I'll be like, listen, out of respect, out of respect to the victim is involved and everybody else that's involved, I would prefer not to make a response myself. I would just prefer that, I would just leave it be for right now because I don't know everything. Well, not even that I don't know everything. It's just best that I leave that up to the justice system. It has nothing to do with me. Um, I just feel like it's up to the justice system, and that's how I have to leave it as for right now. I'm sorry that the victims are going through what they're going through, but for right now, let's just leave it at that. I would do something like that, but going on and talking about, especially Vince McMahon, who we know is a dirt ass nigga. Well, not a nigga, a dirt ass whitey. Like he is such a terrible person, and the way I was quick to defend him is kind of piss poor. It's
But
not even defend him. Let me. It's not.
yeah, it's not really
That's
defending
yeah,
him.
because I'm saying that wrong, but it's not necessarily defending him. You're complimenting him because no matter what, you could say, "Oh, he's a scumbag," but he's a genius. You still giving him a compliment, and that's something we don't want to give him because of the shit he's caused. So, like, at the end of the day, like y'all niggas need to think before y'all post, before y'all write something, and before y'all answer any fucking questions. Because if I was y'all, I would be like, it's best for me to stay quiet.
So I don't disagree with you when it comes to all that, right? But we all know Vince is a dirty piece of crap. What he done, the story. If anybody watched the Netflix documentary with him, you've seen and recapped everything that happened the last couple of years. But you're right. The people shouldn't really comment on it. When they do comment on it, they shouldn't mix it in with a compliment. But I will say, with everything that has been said and what me and you just said, he was he look what he created. Now the environment was terrible. We all knew the environment was terrible. It was shit. But look what he created when it comes to wrestling. I mean, before we knew all this, we as kids we watched WWE, watched WWF the Attitude Era. We didn't know all this was happening. So at the time, hindsight, yes, it's terrible, thing about what he has done. And I hate that, Mercedes said what she said. But at the same time, you're going to have some people out there, especially the ones who are big stars like Mercedes, Stone Cold, Rock, Mick Foley,
Mick Foley was a
Undertaker,
disappointing one. Like, uh,
Kane. You got these guys
I
who we
mean,
know.
what I
We,
don't.
we,
What,
we knew Kane. We know what
mm,
Kane. We know who Glenn Jacobs. We know you are a piece of shit now, of course, because where you be on Twitter talking all this crap, talking about abortion rights and it should go away and all these other things. But you're gonna have the big stars, female and male, talk about, yeah, Vince was a marketing genius. I wish they would add something, would add after that, like, yeah, he was a big genius. He helped my career. He helped where he's the reason why wrestling is the way it is now. But watching everything and hearing everything that he has done, he is a big piece of crap, and I hope he burns in hell. But for some strange reason, the big main stars that were made by Vince are scared to say it. I don't know why. Another one, John Cena. John Cena's another one too, who you don't
I
hear
mean,
nothing. Technically,
John Cena
you
is not a surprise for me. That's the thing. John Cena is not a surprise for me, right? Because he always tries to play this thin line. Like he's always trying to play like he's trying to be on the edge. He doesn't want to say something, but he should, right? He's always playing that political game. Like he's always trying to be politically correct, even though in a lot of these situations he's definitely politically incorrect. Um, and it's just it's sad to see that like yo niggas would really sell their soul to the devil instead of like yo being honest about something. And I think that's the probably the biggest issue with me. My big issue is this: like y'all niggas, y'all play big, y'all play tough and all that stuff, but then like all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, well, we can't really say unless we can't really say certain things, but yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that, which is really fucked up when you think about it.
You know what kind of annoys me about all this too? I know we have Vince under the microscope, right? But I feel like there's others that we're not putting enough, heat on them because they were a part of Vince's inner circle, like a Bruce Pritchard. Uh, One of the things that's weird about this whole situation is Stephanie McMahon was in that, I think it was the lawsuit with Nick Khan and Vince, and they said that she knew everything that was happening, and for some strange reason, she has been brought back to WWE with open arms, and everybody loves her. Like she wasn't a part of allegedly everything that was happening, which that's something that really like creeps me out, weirds me out. Like I was watching WrestleMania this past year and seeing her, I think with night 2 opening up with open arms, and I was like, wait, time out, wasn't she just in a lawsuit talking about she knew what was happening and she just hit everything? I think it was the Ashley Massaro situation, I believe, is one of the things they said that she knew about,
Oh yeah,
and they went to Vince about it, and she kind of the family kind of brushed it under the side, like,
I
but
mean, what are you surprised about? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Why would you be surprised? Because in hindsight, if you really think about it, do you remember like do you like they was willing to open up everything with open arms when it comes to Hulk Hogan. Like,
oh,
so I'm not surprised about a company like WWE who is willing to do the same thing. Matter of fact, let's just call it for what it is, because it's not just WWE. Because I could do that, but recently my favorite company AEW did that shit with Ric Flair, and
hmm,
and that whole thing, like, and I saw what they tried to do, like they tried to do slick about it. And the only reason why is because Sting begged them and pleaded, and they just wanted to give Sting a last hurrah. And 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 I get that. I do get that. But in the same space, like you still have to be a CEO and like be like, we're not this company, so we have to kind of show and prove that we're not this company. How do you do
exactly.
that? By not setting an example of allowing whatever Ric Flair did, like you can't allow him to be there. Now, did they try to fix the problem? Yeah, kinda, because they just let him go quietly. Like they just said, "Fuck you." Like, okay, you're done. Okay, cool.
Well,
You
pretty
know,
much Sting retired, then yeah, we don't need you no more. What's the sense of having you around? Because we only did this for Sting because this was his last year he's wrestling. So we did this favor for him. So what was the sense of even having you around after that? Sting is not going to be around. He's not an active wrestler no more. But yeah, that I think that's the thing that annoyed me with AEW. Like I understand, I think it was a combination of both AEW, right? They were trying to do this favor for Sting, but also I think they were trying to bring in more eyes on their product. So they think, okay, one of the most recognizable names that's not Hulk Hogan is Ric Flair. Let's bring him on. We do this favor for Sting, but also let's see if this potentially brings eyes to our product. But I don't think we even did that. I don't think the numbers were any different. I'm not too sure.
I'm
I
gonna be
gotta look at
honest with
stats.
you. You know what it is, and there is a thing. There's a thing that Dave Meltzer said. He was like, if you look at the average, um, what is it? The average net worth of an AEW fan, it's in the higher ups. Like AEW fans like spend money because we know quality, like, and we know shit for what it is. Like, yeah, WWE has money, but everything about them, in my eyes, which down the line, either I'm gonna do like you guys are gonna see that I'm gonna do like this whole wrestling thing where it's gonna be like Somebody's going to be on the WWE side, somebody, and I'm going to be on the AEW side, and I'm going to have a discussion about this. This is down the line stuff that I'm going to have a debate with someone in person. So look out for that because that's coming eventually. But I'm not really going to get into that whole detail. This whole thing was actually more so about the whole thing with, with pretty much what's going on with like how people and I'm not, and Vince is one part of it. Like we could talk about Diddy too. It's like
Bro,
oh
not to even interrupt you. You know what's crazy about all of this? The connection with Diddy, connection with Vince, and even about the connection with Donald Trump. All of them have a connection in some creepy way when it comes to them being involved in WWE, and it's very crazy. Like it's mind boggling when you think about it.
yeah, like it's just it's weird. It's weird behavior. Like it really is. And Diddy himself, like these, like everybody who's trying to defend this shit is like weird. Specifically this bozo ass nigga, Dr. Umar Johnson. Like when I look at that nigga, like no lie, like I laugh sometimes at him, but like no lie, that nigga is the definition of a loser. Like he makes black people look so bad. Like he's always talking about this black African power and shit, but like the way he acts sometimes, you're just like, nigga, please. Like you are like it's your black people or your kind of black people only. And that's the shit that bothers me. Like, why is it just your kind of black people only? There are different types of black people. It's just how it is. Now, coons, I don't really fuck with. Like, that's just that. But it is and anything that's literally going against black people in general, I understand that point. But for you to sit there and literally go online and talk shit about the fact of, oh well, they're trying to set up Diddy, like they're trying to set up Diddy, and I'm like, my nigga, it's mad evidence. What else is there? Oh, it's a setup by the man, nigga. You know what's a setup? The money that these people gave you to build that goddamn fucking school, nigga. Where the school at? I don't see the school.
What's the
I
name of
don't see the school.
What's the name of that school that was on ESPN? That fake high school,
Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore. That's Dr. Umar's school right there. Because I mean, I hear all these, entertainers and athletes. LeBron with his I Promise school, Jalen Rose, shout out to both of them with his charter school in Detroit. Dr. Umar, where is this school at? Like where? Like
Yeah. What is it? The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
of what
What happens to
imagination?
school, baby? What
Of
happens to school?
imagination?
Huh?
Because of imagination? Because I don't know.
Like, I guess the school is like Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey. It must be history because I ain't never seen this shit before. I ain't never seen it. I ain't never heard of it. I ain't never seen a building built. I ain't never seen nothing.
See the
Who's
thing,
building it?
but you see the thing with Umar Johnson, which I don't understand with him, is you saying that it's people, the government is going after Diddy because he's a black man and all these other things. There are more powerful people than Diddy that if that was really true, they would have went after. Diddy's a monster. Okay, I seen something yesterday with Little Scrappy that really made me think. Like everybody's been making a big deal about the baby oil situation. Like, oh, why they bringing up the 1,000 bottles of baby oil? That shouldn't have nothing to do with the case. But Scrappy made an interesting point. He was like, he heard stories that potentially that there were drugs in the baby oil that people would use or Diddy would use, and that's how people would get drugged heavily, and they would be around. They think, okay, I'm around for maybe a day or 2 or 3 days or 4 days or a month or whatever. To come to find out they've been around for like years, drugged out their mind, which was an interesting thing. But
I heard about that.
you heard about that too, right?
I heard about that, but
There's so many stories that you're going to hear
yeah,
that makes you going to
and
scratch your
that's the
head. Like,
thing. It's like there's a lot of stories, but my whole thing is like, yo, you gotta say more. Like, I need to see, like, a lot of things nowadays is like, yo, I need to see that evidence, bro.
Yeah, you can't believe the internet,
'Cause
especially Twitter.
exactly, like, you can't do that all the time. Mainly because it's like, yo, y'all niggas could be lying. Like, y'all niggas could be just saying things just to say things because it's a goddamn Tuesday. And that's the thing. You can't necessarily do that in the situations that we're in nowadays. Like you need evidence. Like, and to credit of everybody who's got the feds, because the feds got all the info. But it's like there's no way that 120 people are suing you. No way that 120 people are trying to sue you. There's footage of you literally in plain sight of you dragging Cassie. Like,
There's also a lot of people that's been coming out recently saying that there's been tape that's been passed around the black market of Diddy with a famous executive or whatever. So there's,
like I
I,
said, I'm good with I'm good with everybody just saying, yo, giving rumors and everything like that. That's cool, but I need info. Like, that's how I am, right? And when we with the Cassie situation, we got the footage. So it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it if he did it or not. The nigga did it in
we
plain sight.
we have the Diddy, we have the Cassie footage. We got the affidavit of everything that he's done within the last couple of years of him uh, setting a bomb, and it's crazy thinking about it. How like he really set a bomb in Kid Cudi's car all because him and Cassie broke up. That it was in 2012, 2013. Got jealous and he decided to blow this man's car up. Like, what kind of sick? Like, I'm literally looking at American Gangster in 2024. Like, literally, like this man is literally Frank Lucas, and the connection was that is remember his dad was a driver. I think it was for Bumpy Johnson or Nicky Barnes, one of them. It's it's like watching a movie that we watching right now with this whole Diddy situation. Like, it's new developments every day. It's going to get crazy before the year gets over. It's something's gonna happen. Something's gonna get released before 2024 is over for sure.
Again, why would I be surprised? The nigga is a nasty nigga.
Yeah,
He is a nasty nigga. Like, it's very, very simple. Like, I don't there's nothing I could do really to say anything about it. It's just the nigga is a nasty nigga. Like, he really is. And for all intents and purposes, I've already said my piece when it comes to D. And I don't think that's ever gonna change. Like, the nigga is just he's just too much, bro. Like, he is just it's another nigga, it's another black man that just makes the black community look bad. And niggas who thought he was influential. It's always these weird influences that really just fuck up everything, from the Diddy's to the R. Kelly's to the Bill Cosby's of the world. It's just like, oh, you niggas just
you
you
put a
niggas
stench.
forget
You put a
about
stench in the culture, pretty much.
exactly. Like, y'all really, really do. And it's fucked up. And it's sad. And it's sad for us as people, but it's more traumatic for people who's going through it. Like, and
Agreed.
I think that is a big point that people just don't mention a lot. The big talking point is that a lot of people have to go through this and say nothing. Like,
And for years and
for you.
decades, bro. Like, it's so crazy. Like, remember growing up when the R. Kelly situation happened and Dave Chappelle came up with "Piss on You" on his show, and for years, I don't know if you were, but we were all laughing about it and joking about it and stuff like that. And when you grow up now and you heard that he went to jail, and you just really, when you really grow up, you really sit down and think to yourself, like, why did I laugh at this stuff for? Like, in hindsight, this was terrible. These people, we were laughing at these people's pain, you know. So, for me, for my part, I want to apologize, to the people, that went through what they went through when it comes to R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, even Diddy, more so even with R. Kelly, because like I said, the Diddy thing it's not new, it's kind of fresh, but when it came to the R. Kelly thing, we as a community, we just laughed it off and laughed at it, and we didn't sit back. We didn't care about who it hurt and how it affected people. We just laughed at the pain, which wasn't right. So for my part, I want to apologize for that for sure. But you know, this goes to these three guys, these three individuals. These are people that we as the black culture idolized, right? And I think right now, moving forward, we need to stop idolizing these people. We need to stop saying, oh, this idolize this celebrity, idolize this influencer, idolize this person, idolize that person. You don't know these people. You don't know these people. You don't know what they do in their personal lives. You don't know who they are outside of the fame. And we're kind of bound down to them, and looking at all their moves and just idolizing them. Like, we need to stop doing that and just get away from that type of culture of like just bowing down to these people, because we don't know who they really are when they step out or when they go home and they're behind closed doors.
Honestly, yeah, it's literally like that. Like it really is. And I like for y'all niggas, I just want y'all to know from the bottom of my heart, this is what I think of y'all niggas. Y'all niggas is nasty. Y'all niggas is, and yeah, we laughing, but in hindsight, I think that, and that's another thing. Like, since you mentioned that stuff, like laughing at things, it's happening currently. The biggest thing that's happening now is everybody has to make a joke about Diddy freak offs, right? Or a Diddy party, right? And I don't understand why y'all niggas think that shit is funny. Why? I don't. What is funny? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, don't take me to no Diddy party. Like, y'all niggas take views off of shit like that. Like, yeah, we're talking about it, right? But shit like that is like, it's not necessarily funny. Oh yeah, yeah. When you go to a Diddy party, and then y'all niggas is, y'all put yourselves in baby oil and shit like that. That shit is gross, bro. Like, that shit is
You
weird. It's a
big
weird
bro,
behavior.
you have to realize, this day and age and this generation, we are so desensitized to a lot of shit. Like, it's so sad that we're laughing. We laugh at people's pain like it's nothing. Like, we're a desensitized generation when it comes to stuff on social media. Like, you remember the things that you supposed to social media when some of these celebrities passed away. You remember they showed the video of and back in 2018 of XX Tentacion, and he was in his car, literally dead, and people taking snapshots and like, oh my god, it's XXX. We are a desensitized generation. Like, we don't care about nothing. We don't care if it causes people hurt. We don't care if it causes people pain. We don't care. We're just gonna laugh at it, and we have that mindset of like, if it's not us, well, we don't care. We're just gonna laugh, and we need to stop doing that, because at the end of the day, when something happens to somebody's family member or friend, then people start caring. But we need to get back to where we care about one another. We care about people and care about, you know, what pain and what type of pain that people went through, when it comes to certain situations, especially like these situations. So we're living in a time where we just don't care. We just want to laugh at people's pain and just post everything on social media, and just it's real sickening.
It is sad when you think about it. It really is, and you just kind of wonder, like, yo, why? What changed? Like, what exactly happened? Like, what was it that happened? And I think one of the bigger things is that we, for some reason, have way too much access to certain things. Like, we have way too many access to people's personal lives, people, like certain things like that. Yeah, having a podcast is cool. Like, that stuff is fine. But like too much, like there's too much of the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, TMZ. Like, niggas know every little detail. Niggas know what full on meal you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, shit like that is not necessarily needed unless you have a cooking like page. Like, if you're cooking a meal and you're sharing that, that's cool. But like, nobody should be able to know all that information. Like, this shit is, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in when you really think about it. Like, it's no privacy anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, it's social media is like pretty much a drug. People want they normal people want to know everything about their favorite celebrity, and it's sickening because we don't know what it was a form of privacy back in the days. It was a little privacy. Yes, it had paparazzi, following celebrities and stuff of that nature. But nowadays, it's just so like privacy is just like this now. Like it's small. Nobody can do nothing without TMZ. Like you said, TMZ, Hollywood, Unlock, Ball Alert saying, oh, well, yeah. Like, for example, the Cardi B situation, this whole situation, Cardi B, you have these outlets on, oh yeah, well, we found out the person who Cardi B slept with. It was NFL player Stephon Diggs. I'm like, and if it was like, it's not our business. It's her life, it's her personal business. Why are you so fascinated? Why people so fascinated with celebrities' lives for it?
If she
It
want to pop
doesn't.
up pussy for a digs, she could pop up pussy for the digs. That's her business. It is her business. That don't got nothing to do with me. That don't change my life or nothing. Like, and it's not harmful, right? It's not necessarily harmful to me, right? I think that certain things that can be harmful to the black community is sexual assault stuff, like rape stuff, like kidnappings and stuff like that. That's something that is can impact what we have, like as black people, as black folk. Whereas I don't think something with Cardi B is necessarily fucking up shit for me. Like I could still go and do what I have to do for a living. Like I still can go out and not visualize certain things. Like and let me say, like, it may be fucked up, like for both of them to go through the situation between her and Offset. Like they're so toxic for each other, and I think that something maybe I'll take away is like that toxic behavior is so nasty. It's nasty work that we just don't necessarily need. So if
Just
it was something to take away, it would be that.
just stay off of social media when it comes to your
Yeah,
private,
going
your
on live
business.
and all that shit. Like,
Going online. Listen, for all my celebrities out there, you guys always say you want a private life. You don't want everybody in your business, but then you go on social media and you write all your business for everybody to see. That Cardi B and Offset situation could have been avoided. Just stay off of social media. Call each other, text each other, talk to each other. Whatever's going on, you guys have three kids together. Why are you going on social media talking about all these things and people looking at you like crazy? You got young kids that idolize both of you guys, which no disrespect, they shouldn't, but they do. Um, you need to set an example. Don't do stuff like that. Keep your life private. Do not whatever issues you guys have between each other. Just leave it off of social media. Just point blank. Like just leave it alone.
I mean, that's nothing new. Like it's just how it is. Like, and I think that what happens is because of that, we just have time to talk about everything. That's the funny part. Like, yeah, it gives us stuff to talk about, but there's a lot of things we can't talk about. So it's not like, oh yeah, the celeb tabloid stuff. It's just it gives us so much. No, it just gives us a widespread of information that we should talk about. That's literally it. It's nothing like, oh yeah, like oh, I need that. No, I don't necessarily need all that information, but teach his own, bro. Like it really is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I noticed something that's been happening recently. And it's really interesting to say the least, right? It's like, yo, all these celebrity deaths have been happening in the past month or so, and it's so fucking crazy. Now, the three that we know of is the main ones that impact us, especially as black people, is Frankie Mays, John Amos, and James Earl Jones. Now,
Frankie Beverly.
what the fuck?
Maze is the group, but Frankie Beverly.
Frankie Beverly and me.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was saying it.
Yeah.
I was saying it in my head. I was saying Frankie Beverly,
Yeah.
but then I was thinking the whole thing. I was thinking Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Yeah.
Damn, I am fucking up. Y'all gonna have to forgive me because I'm just I don't know. My mind is kind of far away.
These things is
I don't
really
want to
hidden.
really tell y'all the details of why, but we'll jump back into this. So yeah, Frankie Beverly, John Amos, and James Earl Jones, right? And oh wait, sorry, that's the lie. 4. Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo. What the fuck is going on with me today? Please forgive me. Um, yeah, for us, it's interesting to see all these deaths happening in such a way, right? Like Frankie Beverly, James Earl Jones, and John Amos, those three, they were older. That was a more of a natural death. So it's more so like, we hope that you were able to live longer and live your best life. But the Kimbe Mutombo was that came out of like out of what's it called, like thin air. Like we didn't know that shit was happening. Like it's crazy when you think about these things, really.
Yeah. With the Kembe Mutombo, he was diagnosed with brain cancer, I believe, either 2023 or 2022. I don't remember the top of my head. But the crazy thing about that is, the other day before he passed away, I literally, he passed my mind. I was like, I wonder how he's doing. I haven't heard nothing since he was diagnosed, and it broke my heart that he passed away because if you know basketball, the Kembe Mutombo was bigger than basketball. He was the one of the biggest humanitarians in the league. Like, he gave a lot back to Africa. He was given. He gave back to a lot of people. And everyone who knew him would say the same thing. He's just a lovable giant. Fun energy, loving, and everybody know him for the no, 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 no. And his loss, it broke my heart because, like I said, I grew up watching Mutombo, and he was one of those guys. Me playing like high school basketball, he was one of those guys who I really idolized. He was one of the guys I was like, hey, he's not an offensive player, but he's a great defensive player. And to see him gone at such a young age, it breaks my heart. With John Amos and John Amos and Frankie Beverly. But Frankie Beverly, it's heartbreaking too. The impact he had on our culture. Everybody knew when we black people, when we have a picnic or we're going to a picnic, you had to play Before I Let Go. That is the staple when it comes to the picnics. It's hot dogs and burgers on the grill, chicken on the grill, and Frankie Beverly and maize especially too as well. With James Earl Jones and John Amos, that those two really broke my heart. Like you said, I completely understand what you said about them, and they lived a long life, and it's still hard though. It's still a death. You know what I mean? And what those two guys brought to our culture was legendary pieces of art. With James Earl Jones was Coming to America, Lion King, Darth Vader in the Star Wars franchise. And with John Amos, he was the original TV dad, from Good Times. And, he played other roles in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and, Coming to America as well. It's a big blow. It's a big blow. I know they were older, but it was a huge, it's still sad. Those two guys were people who set the tone for our culture. And, when you have those days where, you're sad and going through something, they were the beacon of light, because anytime you could just flip on something, watch something, and it'll bring you positive energy and the big smile on your face and just happiness. And even though they're gone now, thank God, God blessed us, with them and with everybody who passed away. With they leave behind a legacy that it's going to get passed down, that got passed down to us, and we pass it on to our kids. My daughter, I showed my daughter The Lion King. That's my favorite Disney movie, and she loved it. So it's sad that they're gone, but at least now we can always look back at their legacy and what pieces of art they left for us to always remember them. They're gone physically, but their art and their presence is still with us.
Well, and that's another thing. Like, I don't know why. Okay, for me, I just think that it's harder because they're like James Earl Jones was like a movie dad. Uh, like John Amos was a TV dad, and both of them were movie dads in Coming to America and stuff like that. So it's so interesting, right? To just see how everything is, and it's a we're in a weird world right now where these things are happening so sudden, like so it's a lot to take in, and with like how the world is moving right now, like it's not even like you get time to cope with things, because while you're coping about one thing, then another thing happens, and when you're trying to cope with one thing, then another thing happens. Like it's like no space to necessarily breathe. It's like you don't get that chance to do anything. You just have to face the fact that this is life, bro. Like this is the life that you just gonna have to live. Like, and it sucks because that's not how life should be. It shouldn't feel like, oh, oh well, yeah, that's life. That's just how things are, and we have to keep moving because let's be honest. Like right now, while this whole thing happened, the hurricane over the weekend just happened, right? The big hit in North Carolina just happened, and to those people in North Carolina, my heart's with you. Um, it's really a shitty situation to lose a lot of things. You lose your homes, lose your loved ones, lose everything because how the world is. Like, I don't care what nobody says. Climate change is a real thing, and it causes these natural disasters, and because of that, people just lose everything. And we don't. I don't think we do things to combat it properly, and it's really sad. Um,
Definitely, my heart goes out to them too as well. It's it's an unfortunate situation. Anybody who's listening to the podcast, we have a chance to look into the Red Cross. Donate. God, forbid if you was in that situation, you would love for people to help you guys, help you guys out in the situation. I advise, you do the same. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to donate something, after the podcast. But my heart and my prayers go out to everybody who lost, things,
I
during this
will say
hurricane for
this.
sure.
I will say this because there was something that kind of pissed me off, and I will address it. So Logan Paul decided that he wanted to send like crates upon crates of Prime. Nigga, no offense, but nobody gives a fuck about your drink. Like, nobody gives a fuck about your drink. Like, bro,
That's not that's not true, bro. You know that is not true.
it's not about that.
No,
It's
no,
not
no, no.
about.
Listen, okay? You know who cares about those drinks? The dogs, okay? The cats, the animals, okay?
Oh,
They
oh,
care about that.
the cows and
The
shit like that.
cows. But no, all seriousness though, like you gotta what else did you expect? Really? They are the main reason why we are living in a world that everything is
Cloud
desensitized.
chasing and
Cloud chasing. If you really cared and you make the money you do, you would donate real money, real items, stuff like that. You are really trying to donate Prime to get a plug-in or to get it. It's very
it is a plug.
disturbing.
It's a plug. It's and that's the disgusting part. Either you're giving out those bottles of Prime because it's a plug, or you're trying to give out those bottles because nobody else is drinking that shit. I don't know the average person that drinks Prime. I personally don't know anybody that drinks Prime.
It's crazy in Bermuda. They sell Prime, and I never seen nobody in the supermarkets that's around my house or by my job. I never seen. I always see it fully stocked. So I don't know it.
Not a lick of
No,
Prime.
I know damn right it's not because it's flying off the shelves. It's the same bottles, the same dusty bottles I seen a week previous. So it's
Not dusty bottles.
the dusty bottles. Like
Not the
I had
dusty.
to walk by. They're dusty, bro. I walk by one, I go, and they.
Not the dusty bottles, bro. Not the dusty bottles. It's just, but it is what it is. Like, people don't want to see that. I saw somebody who's from North Carolina. I saw it on Twitter. They literally was like, "Yo, nobody asked for your stupid ass donations. Fuck you." And you, if you think this is a joke, and I think that he, like him, KSI, they think that shit is a joke. It's not a joke, bro. people are like they lost a lot of things, and you think this shit is something to play with, and it's really not. It's really not. Like I don't understand why you thought that was charitable, but it wasn't.
Bro, you know who I see Logan Paul as a joke, but I kind of compare them both as jokes. Eric Adams. Eric
All
Adams
right,
is one.
so hold that thought,
Uh,
because I want to wrap this. I want to wrap this part off, right?
yeah,
To the people who have died, who have lost a loved one, especially recently, my heart is with you. Especially at this time. I hope that you're able to find peace, but I know that it's not easy for everyone. Um, I can tell you, especially working in like the Dikembe Mutombo thing hits a little bit harder because where I work, it's a certain kind of center. I will not say where I work because I know niggas like to look up information and all that stuff, but these are the patients that happen all the time. And when you hear death, I recently had that situation happen to me, right? Where I had to hear somebody say, "Oh, their parent passed away." I didn't process that well, and I'm not gonna lie. It's not even my parent, but you don't like to hear that somebody you're trying to help passes away. So I can only imagine the um the nurses. I can only imagine the all the people that have to deal with that stuff because I know if I'm dealing with that, it must be worse on them. So like I just I pray for the betterment of everybody. I really do.
definitely for sure. Um, like I said earlier, all my prayers, all my support, all my love to anybody who was affected by the hurricane. It's gonna get better. Life is gonna get better. You will bounce back. People, we are resilient, and you guys, who have people who have been affected, you guys will bounce back. I am a God fearing man. I believe that you guys will be all right. You guys will be fine. I know it's tough right now, but with love, with everybody's love, and everybody's support, you will bounce back for sure. So, you know, me being a fellow black man, we always been taught, about black men, they're great leaders, and they when we talked about the whole situation with Diddy and with Cosby and all these guys, they were supposed to be the leaders of our communities and stuff like that. They failed tremendously. And now unfortunately we have to add another dumbass nigga on that list.
I mean, do we have to add him? Because I feel like he was already at it.
He was already on the list.
I feel like he was
Yeah,
already a
yeah.
dickhead.
I
I
think I think
knew he was a dickhead.
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I moved from New York in 2019. I wasn't around all the stuff around him and stuff like that. But when you feel in your heart somebody you just don't like and you just don't trust,
Your spirit
and
can't take them.
your spirit can't take them. We were right about Eric Adams. Recently him being indicted
I'm 2 for 2,
for
baby. 2 for 2. Two
you know
for two.
what's funny, bro? When the Diddy situation came out, right? There was the picture of him and Eric Adams when they had the key. I literally went on my WhatsApp page. I'm like, one down, one more to go. And slowly but surely, throughout the last couple of weeks, you heard the commissioner, I think, of education stepping down and
Correct.
being raided. The police commissioner stepping down, his house being raided.
Correct.
I was like, okay, step by step, Eric Adams has to be next. And just for you guys to know, me, Rassan, and our We and Them podcast, we have our own group chat. And, I'm the one who broke the news to them. And everybody were like, not shy, but I was like, oh, oh, oh my God, it's happening. Like, you ever seen the meme of The Office where Michael was like, it's happening. Oh my God, we knew it was going to happen. So, you know, what are your thoughts about this whole situation, bro? Because I thought Giuliani wasn't a bad mayor. Everybody loved Giuliani until he left, office, and all the shit came up after. But for this to happen while you're in office, it's to me personally, it's a godsend, because I want my boy, was it Jermaine Williams, to go into office and put his, put a little blueprint in place for New York, because man, Eric Adams is stealing money from public, not public savings, but public money. Like, what do you think about this whole situation, bro?
I mean, see, a nigga like me, right? A nigga like me, I be knowing when these niggas is gonna fuck up, right? I be knowing this shit, but no, yo, Ebony's parents, right? They kind of cool with him, so I gotta investigate them too. But them niggas is like, oh yeah, Eric Adams. Yeah, that's my boy.
What you mean?
Eric.
Tell me. What you mean? The cool with
That's my
them?
boy.
So wait, time out. You telling me the money that Eric Adams?
Ebony's dad has Eric Adams' personal number.
Okay, time out. So I just want to say this. I just want to ask this question. Okay, you guys are getting married next year.
Mm-hmm.
Did Eric Adams donate money from the public money?
Listen. I don't know nothing about nothing. I tell you that much. Because guess what? If that was the case, then I wouldn't have to be goddamn still paying for this goddamn wedding. So he ain't helped with shit.
Time out. How did Ebony's dad have Eric Adams' number?
Because remember, he was borough president, so the nigga was around. So it's not impossible per se. It's just how shit is. Now, Eric Adams, right? I was gonna take off my glasses, but you don't deserve that, right? You don't deserve that, my nigga. So let me have a word with you. Let me have a word with you, dog. Like, you know what I don't like about you, dog? I feel like you are such a fucking fraud, bro. Like, you so fake. And that's the shit like that pisses me off. Like, you always feel like you here for black people, you here for the community, you here for New Yorkers. I don't feel that. I really don't. I feel like you here for yourself. And this case literally proved my point. And I'm not even mad. There's nothing I can be mad at because I already knew this shit was happening. Like you can't surprise a nigga that already knew that this shit was gonna happen, right? You everything about you sense that you were corrupt. Everything about you, I sensed that I knew that something was going to be wrong. And you know what's crazy? In the beginning, I felt like I don't know how to feel about Eric Adams. You know what? At first, I was like, you know what? That's a black man. I should support him and all that. As he was trying to run, I kind of felt less and less confident. And then when he got in the office, I was like, yeah, I don't trust this nigga. I just don't trust this nigga whatsoever. Like, I don't know what it was about him, but my spirit couldn't take he. But sure enough, I was right. I'm 2 for 2. Diddy and Eric Adams. I was right about these niggas. I knew this shit was gonna happen.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't trust him either. But that connection with that bishop, that's when I was like, yeah, there's something shady about you, because there ain't no way the connection you two had and him being shady. We know how shady Bishop was. Bishop, what is his name?
Bishop. Oh, I know who you're talking about. The rich bishop.
Who used to flaunt, and then he I think he was on a live, and then he got robbed in his church. I knew for a fact all the stories that came out with him, robbing the clergymen and women. Whitehead. There you go.
Whitehead.
Him robbing people for their money and stuff like that, and then they saying, well, yeah, him and Eric Adams are close. That's his close confidant. I was like, Yeah. Yeah. I didn't trust him from there, to be honest. I think that's when I started not trusting him at all, to be honest.
I don't know why. Like I just knew that nigga was a fraud, 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 fraud. You
Bro,
lied,
you know what
you
gets me
lied,
more
bitch ass nigga.
you know what gets me more mad about Eric Adams when the news dropped about him being indicted for the felony charges. He literally went on TV. He was like, "I'm going to defend myself. I'm innocent until proven guilty, and I'm doing this for the for the New Yorkers." I'm like, "Nigga, you ain't doing this shit for the New Yorkers. You're doing this for yourself."
I knew that. Like, listen, man, it's nothing you could tell me. It's really nothing you could tell me because, like, I just knew that nigga was a fraud. You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me. Mino.
Hey, Mino.
You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me. Cannot do it. At the end of the day, bro, New Yorkers, we gotta pick better. Like we really do. Like
we have to
we ain't gotta do nothing. I
not
mean,
we,
you
not
don't gotta do
we,
nothing.
and
But
not me, but I'm just saying we have to literally sit down when it comes to our state, when it comes to our country. We have to stop going by, oh, because this person is black, we need to vote for them. No. At the end of the day, you know what is affecting your state, you know what's affecting your borough. Instead of going by color, going by race, go by the best candidate that's going to be the best mayor, the best president, the best whatever, that's going to do its due diligence and make the state or wherever the country better. I'm sick and tired of our people, not all of us, but a good bit of our people always voting for, oh, yeah, because that person is black and that's why I'm going to go for them. No, do your research. And I'm talking about do your research, especially this upcoming election. Well, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I know if I was in state, I know who I would vote for, but do your due diligence, especially the state you're living in. Don't go by race, don't by color. Do your due diligence, read, see what they're about, and then make the right proper decision. Because if you don't, you go by color, you're gonna end up with another Eric Adams.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're kind of in that situation regardless. Like right now, we in this city situation where it's like the candidates that we have in general aren't always the greatest, but it's our fault. It's literally our fault when you think about it. Like a lot of things are our fault. Like we Americans suck. Like we really do. Like America really sucks. Like I don't think we care about each other enough to pick people who are beneficial to us. I think we look at skin color. I think we look at conspiracy theories. I think we look at everything in a book on instead of what benefits us, like just us. Like not everybody else. Like what benefits me, Rassan? What benefits you, Kevin? What benefits Ebony? What benefits other Kevin? Like I don't think that I think we have that problem where we don't look at things and we look at our politicians and go, okay, who is beneficial to me per se? I feel like that's our problem, right? I feel like everybody wants to be fucking friendly, and that's why they voting for somebody, i.e., Mike Tyson with Donald Trump. Like that is a trash reason. Oh yeah, because he's cool with me. Janet Jackson with the same shit. Like y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee. Like, but then again, in hindsight, it does benefit them if we really think about it. It really does benefit them. Now, I'm not really gonna go into the politics stuff because it's gonna take up too much time, and I ain't got the kind of time on the energy. But you just know to wrap up, they eating the dogs, they eating the cats, they eating the rats, they eating the goose and sheep, they eating everybody. Apparently, half of Kevin is doing that. Apparently, Did are you aware of this? Oh, did I hear a meow when you started talking? Anyway, that wraps up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as we did.
Babe,
Again,
did you see? Did you season of the cat?
meow. Anyway, again, to wrap up, our thoughts and prayers to everybody who has lost a loved one, especially over the past couple of weeks. Our thoughts is with you. If you guys can donate, find a charity, not just Red Cross, but find a charity that really will help benefit those people that are going
This
through it.
this damn whisker in my mouth.
Yo, what is wrong with you, bro? What? I'm trying to be serious. Like, grow up. God, grow up. Like grow up. Anyway, with that being said, what is wrong with you?
Hairball.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay, my bad. Anyway, I've been your host, Rassan, alongside the other half of the other half of We Ain't Them, because you guys don't see him much. So you guys will see him this way. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff like this, as well as still be in the studio. But definitely check us out. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on TikTok. Get our likes up. Get our subscribers up. We're going to be doing this now. We're going to try to make sure we do this a lot. So y'all going to be seeing us in a lot. So
yes, sir.
Twice a week, and maybe seeing us 3 times a week. You gonna be seeing us because we need our monies, because we are unrich folks, and we need to stop being unrich.
Can you just say it in the right tone? We po folk.
No, we are unrich. I am not saying we po, because I am not po. Do you not see these nice little leaves and shit?
You don't see the holes in my socks?
I don't see the holes in your socks.
Anyway, wrap it up, please.
Anyway, all right. I've been your host, Rassan, alongside my co-host Kevin, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Later, guys.